Ready? Do you want to be in it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're going to say sup team.
Sup team.
Sup team. Welcome back to the channel. Woo! Nice. What an intro. Today we are going to pick up a new car, standard. And it turns out we've already got one of these. Well, kind of. This one is a Series 5 Australian delivered RX7. I'm pretty sure it's Australian delivered. It has a sunroof. We got the trailer on the back. Tiny's grabbing some beam waters, and we are going to be hitting it and deciding which one of our FC RX7s we want to keep. This one's a little bit of a project, but we'll talk about it properly when we actually have it on the trailer and we're looking at it. So we'll see you guys soon. Oh, there's a lady out there with the beans. I can see it. God damn, I love RX7s.
Mommy.
Is that an S14 just said?
Mom.
Nope.
Mommy. Mom.
What's wrong, Wawa? I'll just park it here, babe. Oh yeah. Cool. Alright. I'll grab a look at this thing. Make sure it's all it's cracked up to be. I'll be back for some moolah. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Alright. Love you. What's this dude's name? Hey Savannah. You know what car this is? Oh damn son. Where you confiscate them bobbies from, boy? Yeah. Well. Would you look at that? That, ladies and gentlemen, are two Savannahs. 1, 2. So we obviously bought the Series 5. So this is an Australian model, Australian delivered, 1989 Series 5 RX7, 13B turbo, manual, and it's got some really cool history about it. But first, let's actually I'll tell you about it. So basically, we bought this thing. Oh, you got the keys for the shed?
Yes,
we bought this car off of the son of the second owner. So he there was an old guy that owned it, who's like 86 years old now. He has had it since 15,000 Ks, and I think the chassis now has like 86 I think it is. So she's definitely had some use. But that being said, the car's actually in pretty good nick. So like, it hasn't been driven much over the last decade. Excuse me, over the last decade. I don't know if it's going to open with, sweet. Look at the interior of this thing. It's seen some sun, so the dash is sort of peeled and lifted a little bit there, which is, you know, the least of your concern with FC interiors, because usually all the plastics are destroyed, all these vents don't fit properly. That center little dash thing where the your little red lights are don't work. The sunroof isn't rusted from what I can tell. It's all complete, which is actually really hard to get for an FC. They're usually the ones that are completely butchered because they were cheap and people took them for their parts or drifted them. So body wise, we've got a few things to sort of consider. There's some rust here. I don't know if that's going to focus. There's a little bit of rust here from the vents that are in the like the little drain holes in the back, filling up and obviously filling with water and rusting over time. That's the only real rust I've seen. The taillights are in good nick, which is really cool. Oh, is there a crack there? No crack. The body's straight. Just obviously it needs paint. It's been sitting for so long. You can tell it's been sitting because the heat has warped the wipers. Stock Series 5 bar. I think it's lowered a little bit on maybe some springs, but all in all, like, you don't really see FCs like this anymore. So I'm definitely happy with the purchase. But the catch is the car hasn't run. So it was rebuilt 1,000 Ks ago, but that was 6 years ago, and the car hasn't been turned on since. So this is going to be a little bit of a project to see if we can get this thing running and running healthily. We're going to go through, put some like automatic trans fluid down the spark plugs. We'll let it sit for a couple of days and then hand turn it, put a new fuel pump in it, try and get it to fire up. I've got a good feeling about it, but I'm hopelessly optimistic with most things in life. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let me know what you guys reckon if you've fired up an old rotor before. I've done it once before, and it was actually on our FC, the other one, which we have an identical car, but it's a Series 4, and it ran really well until it didn't. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get this thing off the trailer. I'll show you under the bonnet, and then yeah, we'll have maybe a bit more of a look and compare it to the Series 4, because it is pretty cool being able to put them side by side and see almost identical cars. So let's do it.
Yeah. We back. Yeah.
The GP will see you now.
Look, free to return to that emo rap. Ain't no kilo stash. Augusta's son had to reload that. Daddy gone, but his legacy strong. How do you figure? I too thought I'd be dead, all things considered, but I'm living, thriving and growing, fighting opponents that I'm with it. Striving to know who died for the lowest, don't you get it? The industry hopers try to control us, I ain't with it. I got me a goal that's highly explosive with my wife and my baby. What I'm writing is weighty. Call me Esso or Bebenberg, they knighting me lately. Stand where the light is, feeling lighter than lighter than maybe I'm getting grown. Nothing wrong with Bible and Baileys. I open up the text, got my mind closer off the edge. Goes the architect.
So both the 7s are in here and side by side. I thought I'd do a really quick little sort of walk around maybe of the differences between the two cars and sort of the condition that they're in, because it's basically going to help sort of my judgment on as to what to do with one of the cars. I can't keep both. Well, I don't want to keep both. So Series 5, obviously we've got the front bar is different between the two. This is a JDM Series 4 and Australian Series 5. Turbo 2 motor. Engine bay is pretty much original and tidy. Obviously it's a bit dirty at the moment, but you know, it's in fair condition. There's probably going to be a little bit of surface rust. I saw something here on this little bit of steel, this bar. It's got all this hood light over the bonnet, under, I don't know, we call it underlay or something. This car, I just finished putting the coilovers in it, the HSDs, and I can't put stock struts back in it because they were busted. But this car is really tidy. Obviously the engine's out because it's been broken for a few years now. This car's already had a bare metal respray as well, whereas this car hasn't, so it means I can actually change the color of this without feeling guilty. Sunroof on the Aussie Series 5 versus hardtop on the Series 4. Slightly different color, which you can kind of tell, I guess, if you're looking for it. Got this rust here, which needs to be fixed. Not really a big issue. The wing's in good condition, like actually in really good condition. This wing's actually brand new. Obviously, Series 5 rear end is GOAT, especially compared to a Series 4, which I think is pretty ugly. Interior wise, they're both in really good nick, considering the age of them, but the dash is going to piss me off in this car, so it's going to have to be changed. Whereas this car is just a yuck grey sort of trim, like the Series 4 trim, but it's in really, really, really good condition. Door cards as well, so they're kind of even in different ways, like the awesomeness of a Series 5 versus the super clean, tidy Series 4 that I have. Is it worth going through all the rigmarole and changing, doing a paint job and things like that to sell the Series 5 or finish the motor in the Series 4 and sell it? I'm not a super standard kind of guy. I like things with a bit of power and a bit different, so I'm always keen to do a computer and make this thing look sick, and same for that, and you know, Bridgeport and whatever, big fuel system. But I feel like I'll be betraying that car, the S Series 4, a little bit if I did that, because it is so standard. So I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys reckon, what you'd like to see on the channel too. That'd be pretty cool, because we're pretty flexible with what we can do. The 808 is on the market, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm sort of tempted to buy a front end for it. Kids are getting tired, so we're gonna get out of the shed. But yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys reckon I should do with these FCs. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Free to return to that emo rap. Ain't no kilo stash. Augusta's son had to reload that. Daddy gone, but his legacy strong. How do you figure?